And now it's your turn. And there we go. And this is the part of the video where I forget to select the right interface when I start recording, and I have to start the video over again. So let's do this again. Well, hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And we are doing another 5-minute guitar everyday practice, whatever I'm calling the videos. But I did one before and you guys really liked it, and I thought, you know what I should do is a second part that really ties in and works with the first part. That way you can either choose which one of these you want to do, you could alternate, do Monday is the first exercise, Tuesday is the second one, something like that. But I think these both work really well together, and if you have 10 minutes of practice each day, that's even better. So if you want tabs for all this stuff, that is linked down below in the description, and you can check out my free guitar course. If you kind of want to take some of this stuff, a step further, maybe check that out. That's linked down there as well. So the first example is a continuation of something we did in the first one. Now I started off by telling you to use these different G major triads, and we moved through basically a stock position and played through all these different G major triad examples. Now what I'm going to do today is versus just giving you G minor triads to do, I'm going to give you E minor. These work together. So if we're thinking about the key of G, your G is your root or your 1, and the E minor is your 6. So basically we're going to be going like this. Okay, so there's the G major, which is from the first exercise. So if you want that, check out part 1. And then the new one is E minor. So, and you can also go back and do this, of course. I'll kind of explain a little bit more. But basically what we're doing here is we're going to go 7 on the low E string, 7 on the A, and then 5 on the D. Okay, now the next one is going to go 7 on the A string, 5 on the D, and 4 on the G. Next one, you're going to go 5 on the D, 4 on the G, and 5 on the B. And then the final part here is this, basically like a minor chord shape right here. We're going to go 4 on the G, 5 on the B, and then 3 on the high string. So, moving all the way through those. Now, these are really, really powerful. And if you want just kind of like a very basic root to follow, well, that second note at the very beginning, that was our E note. It works out the same way as the major arpeggio, but if you just kind of know what that note is and follow this pattern, then it is outlining those chords. So if I wanted to do G minor, I would just move up here, have that note be a G, and now I have G minor. All over the place. And also I would stress when you're going through something like this, try to acknowledge what notes you're actually playing, whether you're calling out the notes by name or what their value is to the scale. So out of the key of E, if we were playing through these, we're actually starting on our 5th, which is our B note. We're going to our root, which is E, and then our minor third, which is, what is that, G note right there. And just be able to call them out all the way through. It helps so much. I'm telling you, you'll be so thankful if you do that early on. You'll always know that stuff then. So what is that exactly? Now this is another picking exercise, and we're using a pedal tone, and essentially it's all out of G major. That's what we're basing out of. And we're starting right here on 10th fret on the high E string. Now I start with an up pick. You can start with a down if you like. I prefer outside picking. Some people prefer inside picking. So I'm going to start with 10, and that's an up, and then I go to the B string, and my pedal here is going to be 8, 7, 8 on the B. So, okay. Now, from here, I go to 7 on the high E string, back to the pedal, 8 on the high E string, back to the pedal, and then back to 7. So we have this as the first section. Just cycling that's a good exercise, You could use hammer-ons and pull-offs if you wanted to. I'm picking everything, but you could easily, legato it. Hybrid pick it. A lot you can do with this stuff. Now, I shift down more in the scale, and I'm going to go 8 on the high E string, and then I go to 7, 5, 7 on the B. Then I go to 5 on the high E string. Now the pedal is that 7, 5, 7 on the B. Okay, so I go to 7 on the high E string. Okay, so I have, and I end back at 8. So, and then we have that one. So that is a pedal tone exercise, and it's really good for practice, and I think it sounds musical, and it makes it easy to want to practice that one. So next, we are going to be outlining the chords and through triads again of our G major scale. Now we did just strict, single chords, but now we're actually going to be outlining the entire scale through chords. Now just on our G, B, and D, and you can again strum it, arpeggiate it, pick it, pluck it, whatever you want. But basically, we're going to be going like this. So what exactly is happening here? Well, like I said, I'm outlining the chords of the scale. So I start with a G major triad, which is simply actually just open D, G, and B. And so that one's easy. I'm using my fingers, but like I said, you can use a pick. It doesn't matter about that. And then I go to A minor, which is 2nd fret on the D, 2nd fret on the B, or sorry, 2nd fret on the D, 2nd fret on the G, and 1st fret on the B. Okay, so there is our A minor triad. Now, to do B minor, you just simply shift it up 2 frets. So we're going to go 4, 4, 3. Now, keep in mind, I'm always going to be on the D, G, and B. I'm not changing strings here, just these 3. Now we have a C major, which I shift and use my pointer finger, and I'm barring at the 5th fret. I shift up to do a D major, which is, again, barring at the 7th fret. Now, E minor, this is why I shifted fingers, is my fingers just don't fit in the frets too well once you get past, like, 9th fret. And this one would be 9 on the D, 9 on the G, but then 8 on the B. So that's your E minor. So we have G, A minor, B, C, D, E minor. Now here we go to a F sharp diminished. So this one it's a cool shape to have tucked away. You're gonna do 10 on the D, 11 on the G, and then 10 on the B. Now at the 12th fret, everything starts over again. So we're back to G, which is now just gonna be all 12s. My fingers just don't fit here, so that's why I suddenly started arpeggiating them when I was playing them. A minor, then B minor, C major, D major, and then I just ended on that G. But if you have 24 frets, you can go a little bit higher if you want. But that's such good practice, and I recommend you do that on those 3 strings, and then pick another set of 3 strings, do it on those. I'm telling you, one of the best things I ever learned was my triads and stuff like that. So it's so crucial, and just sit there, like I said, 5 minutes, or probably like a minute of your practice routine, just sit there and go. Now I want to throw in a little bit of a hybrid picking exercise here. Now again, this is based out of G. We're going like this. I'll just play through it once and you can kind of hear it. So what's happening here? Well, this is focused on pull-offs, and of course, if you get through the lick and you want to flip it the other way, you can work on it with hammer-ons if you want. But it's just kind of like country style, probably influenced by the fact I'm playing Telecaster, but I'm hybrid picking it. And this is a really good exercise to get used to, for one, string tension change, which is happening when you have open strings involved in a lick. It's very different than pulling off to another fretted note. And like I said, it's, again, the hybrid picking side of it. So essentially all I'm doing is I'm walking up the scale, which would normally be just me harmonizing it in thirds, essentially. But what I do is I go 2, pull off to open on the G. Now I'm plucking that with my middle finger, so you can see that there. So when I do that, and I pick 4 on the D, which is palm muted, like that. So all the D strings are palm muted and picked. All of the notes that are on the G are plucked and then played open. Now I shift up and I'm going to go 4 on the G to 5 on the D. Shifting up again, 7 and 9. 9 and, I'm sorry, that'd be 5 and 7. This is 7 and 9. Now here you're going to change your position again. You're going to go 9 on the G and 10 on the D. Then you go 11 on the G to 12. And I'm just ending on 12 and 12, giving you that G power chord. incorporate a lot of different areas. I use it a lot if I'm playing over something like, maybe you want to walk down something kind of chicken picky plucky. Now the final thing is a little shuffle here that I want you to practice, and just getting into the groove of this one is the whole point of it. And you can incorporate more chords if you want. I'm just doing single notes here, but if I was kind of practicing it on my own to kind of kick it up a notch, maybe throw in some of those nines or something like that. But here's what we have going on. So the riff is this. Alright, so let's break that down. Now, essentially it's repeating the same thing over and over again. We're just changing what chord it is. It's just a blues shuffle, country, probably shuffle-ish thing. But essentially the chords, E7, A7, to a B, to an A, back to the E. Now, the overall thing is this. So it's... And there's a couple of picking things to note that make it sound the way that it does. So the riff is open twice on the low E string, 3-4 on the low E, 2-4 on the A, then open low E string again. Now from here you're gonna go second fret on the D string twice. Okay, so now you go 4 on the A, 4 on the low E string, and then 2-4 on the A, and that's one time through it. Now those 2s on the D string, notice I'm picking up twice, which seems like it's not the most economical way to pick, but I want the pop. That's why I'm picking up. Sounds different than, there's a different sound to them. Now all you do is literally take that lick and that riff, move it down a string to the A string. Play everything exactly the same way. Now the next part is, again, the same thing, but I'm basing it off the B. So I'm starting on second fret of the A string, twice. Now I go to 5 and 6 on the A. Then you're going to go to 4 and 6 on the D. Now, you can grab the B note here, 7th fret, the low E string, or go back down to 2. So. Now there, I'm going to go 4 on the G twice. Then I go to 6 on the D, 6 on the A, then 4, 6 on the D. Sorry. Move back down to where you're playing the open A. It's exactly the same. Low E string, exactly the same. Now this is simply ending on open 1, 2 on the A. You could throw in some kind of lick if you wanted to in there. I did at the end. Whatever you want to do. Probably not as sloppy as me, but... There you have it. Alrighty guys, get your guitars out and start practicing. The challenge is, let's do it a day for a month. Incorporate it with the other one. See what you got, see what you can do with these, and come back in a month and let me know how you did. So, till next time guys, make sure you get the tabs, and I will be seeing you later. Guitars up, guitar high fives, out of here.